Hi, welcome to the Truth of Tal and Isaac. I'm Tal.
I'm Isaac.
Episode number 34. Greatest 34 of all time? Walter Payton.
Walter Payton. Did Bo wear 34?
Bo wore 34 as well.
It's got to be Payton, but I like Bo.
Bo gives it a
Bo's
run,
awesome.
too. Yeah, two guys that were awesome. Crazy athletes. We're going to talk about the NBA Finals. The Bucks won last night. Big gutty win without Giannis. Need to give some credit to the Hawks. Anyway, we'll get into that in more detail. And then we're going to do a unique segment. Isaac is not hot on this. 4 people for dinner. 1 current athlete, 1 past athlete, and 2 other miscellaneous people, and no family members, right? Like I can just have my dad come for dinner, which is cool, which would be cool, but not that. Current athlete, former athlete, 2 miscellaneous. There's not any type of mandatory female factor.
Wow. The fact that you said that is just terrible.
Yeah. Well, I just, this might not be so woke, depending on who you pick.
Oh my God.
Okay, off the top, Bobby Bonilla Day. Do you know what this is? It's actually...
Is it today?
Awesome. No, it was a couple days ago.
Okay.
Listen, just got a highlight on the radio.
So most people don't know what that means.
Yeah, so every, July 1st, Bobby Bonilla gets paid $1.1 million.
Who's Bobby Bonilla?
He was actually an all-star with Pittsburgh Pirates, baseball player. And then he signed with the Mets, and then he was bought out, and they owed him $25 million. So instead of $25 million, they agreed, okay, we're going to pay you $1.18 million for about 45 years. So he's going to keep being paid $1.1 something million every July 1st by the Mets. It's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Wimbledon, our audience are not big Wimbledon members, but Wimbledon's cool.
Who cares? Nobody.
Yeah, not a lot of people care. Tennis is fun. We'll talk about my prison rules match. We'll talk about my match.
The finals.
Talk about my match later. I'm still tired. Miggy actually hit over 300. We all assume.
For what? A month?
No, for a month. Yeah, we assume that he's done. Is it possible that he could be a 260 hitter with some power and some
260? No way. 250? Maybe. 250 is best case scenario.
Yep.
But I won't give him that.
They have him for 2 more years after this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's the thing. I didn't think the Tigers were going to compete for a playoff spot, a wild card spot, next year. It is actually possible that they do, although I still think they're 2 years away.
2 years. Depends on what shortstop they can land and how the draft goes.
Yeah, if they decide to throw a truckload of money at Correa. There's a few guys that are out there. That a guy used to play for Anaheim, good defender,
Andrelton Simmons? Andrelton Simmons. He's great.
Yeah, I think he's a free agent.
Cool.
I like him a lot. That'd be cool.
Yeah, he's one of the best gloves in baseball.
Yeah. The only problem with the Tigers probably the rest of the season, is load management for their young guys, right? If you get it, somebody went to the Tiger game for the first time this year, you go see Casey Mize, and he's done after 3 innings. And he's frustrated, but that's just the way it is. And that's the way baseball is. Load management sucks for fans. I know there's a couple of statisticians that say it's the best thing, but too bad. Habs, please win a game. I think
they're going to win a game.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
1.
Did we talk about college athletes getting paid?
A little. Yeah, there's not much to talk about.
It's going to be really interesting. So some rapper's son goes to Tennessee State or something. He signed a $2 million deal with
everybody is going to sign deals, and I don't really care. Good for them, get money, but I don't. They're already getting money anyways.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a gong show.
Yeah, we're gonna have to read headlines. X player signs Y deal for a long time.
Yeah,
and I do not care at all. The only
thing that I care is now the
deal.
NCAA is, not controlling things because they're communists.
Yeah, it's communist regime.
Yeah, might be
Canada.
Yeah, just go on Twitter. That's it. Anything else off the top for you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, Ohtani's MVP.
Oh,
yeah,
so
has to be the MVP.
He has to.
There's no argument that will top the Ohtani argument.
Yeah, he's amazing.
MVP.
Yeah. Okay, what do you think about the basketball? What do you think about the finals?
Okay, so are we just talking about Bucks Suns or are we talking about the other series?
No, we'll talk about some other stuff too, but let's talk about the Bucks
and the Hawks
first.
Okay. So you hopped on the Brook Lopez bandwagon before Game 6, before I went nuts. I'm going to hop on the Bobby Portis bandwagon. So Portis is going to be my guy. You can get Lopez. They're fun to watch. They rock.
They are.
It's cool to see just guys like that step up. And like same with Reggie. Like a good role player just steps up.
You need guys like that to win, especially with all the injuries.
With no Giannis, yeah. Bogdanovich and Dano, they're both your guys for Atlanta. Now Atlanta's a good team. Well coached. Good depth.
What's their ceiling? Because I don't think they
got lucky
guys.
this year. They got super lucky this year.
I agree.
But we can talk about luck later, unfortunately. Any team that's here, people will just say luck, and I don't blame them. But they're here for a reason, right? Same with the bubble stuff. The Heat were in the finals for a reason. So look.
Because they played great last year in the playoffs.
And now the Hawks didn't, I don't think, played particularly great for a lot of the playoffs. But Embiid got injured. Simmons just fell apart completely. Like nobody, people that like hate Ben Simmons, nobody thought what would happen happened.
No, nobody thought he'd be that bad.
Nobody thought that.
Like passing up, wide open dunks.
Not taking shots for fourth quarters for like the whole series, just ridiculous. Shooting whatever shot from the line.
Do we want to talk about the Ben Simmons rumor that you told me about last week?
Yeah, sure. So it's we'll talk about this later, but it's Simmons. It was Simmons straight up for Malcolm Brogdon and a first rounder.
And Indy's first rounder this year?
I would assume. It doesn't really matter, I think. Philly said no, which shows two things. One, Simmons is their guy and they're going to stick with him. Or two, they want Dame or Beal or maybe Levine and they're going to wait and just go all in for one of those guys.
I'd love to see a great guard with Embiid. Like
him
a guard who
Dame.
can shoot. Him and Dame
like
would be
the ex-player,
awesome.
like Steph and Jokic. Like that game is just fun to play. And Dame and Embiid is one of the most entertaining duos that you can make up, I think.
I can see it happening.
100%. It's a possibility. If Dame says, I want out, he can't go to the Lakers. That just doesn't work. He won't go to the Clippers. I don't think he'll go to Miami. I don't think he'll go to Boston.
I think I heard a Miami rumor. I don't know how that
You hear Miami
works.
rumors with every player, though. Like,
Why is that? Because people want to play in Miami?
Pat Riley, right? Like, he talks
people
to a
want to
lot
play
of
with
guys.
Jimmy. People want to play with a good young core.
Yeah,
it's
and
a fun city.
Yeah, so, like Kawhi. Like I was reading, Dallas and Miami are the two teams that are going to make a run at Kawhi. Kawhi's going to stay. He's going to sign stupid money and stay in LA and just lose. But anyways, back to Hawks-Bucks. The Bucks did deserve to win the series, I think.
Yep, I agree.
Even though, like, do we rip on Budenholzer anymore? Do you want to talk about Budenholzer?
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to make good decisions. Like, who's Portis, who's...
Bobby Buckets, yeah.
Yeah, so he's their 3 and no D guy who can't really shoot the 3.
No, Bryn Forbes.
Bryn Forbes.
Bobby Portis is the awesome
MVP.
MVP.
Sorry, I got confused. Yeah, Bryn Forbes. Like, we were looking up his stats last night. You can't shoot. Why are you putting him in? Finally, they made the adjustment.
In Game 6.
Yeah.
Forbes shouldn't get run. Yeah. Bobby Buckets, Pat Connaughton, your boy. Braxton played well.
And Teague.
Teague stepped up.
Teague stepped up. Teague was really good in Atlanta.
We're talking about that Atlanta team when they had Horford and Korver and Millsap and Teague and Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, they were good.
Okay, so Hawks-Bucks. Hawks will be back, but I think this was their year. Like, I feel like the Nets will run things back. At least 2 of the 3.
For sure.
Will stay probably all 3.
Miami's going to be healthy. They're going to be better.
Hopefully.
Indiana's going to be healthy. They're going to be better.
Philly's going to look different. Toronto might get a guy.
Toronto's
Boston might add a guy.
Yeah, and Detroit is
couple
going to be
years.
better. There's still 2 years. Honestly, there may be play-in next year. I kind of think that's their...
borderline there. Okay, so that's enough there. Suns Clippers. It was awesome to see Chris Paul win.
Yeah,
that was so cool. I love Chris Paul. Booker growing on me. I didn't love D-Book.
We'll talk a little bit Book in the finals, but good series. You know, we loved that Reggie Jackson had a good playoff run. Really awesome. I don't know if he's a free agent.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
He said something like, I want to come back or something, right?
So I assume he is. He was real emotional about his whole experience with the Clippers and with PG. PG gets some cred, right? His street cred got up.
Yeah,
well, it was pretty low. Like not Ben Simmons low, but
he was never really efficient at all.
Nope. He had some big games.
He had a couple big games, but even when he had big games, he shot below 50% most of the time.
Yeah.
He's still pandemic P for me. He's not playoff P yet.
Yeah. Anyway, Suns played well, even though I think they could have played better and they should have put the Kawhi less Clippers away quicker. But they're deep and they're good.
Yeah, it's tough. Sometimes the Clippers sometimes they all step up, right? Every now and then
had a crazy game.
Batum
Reggie had some games.
and Reggie and and they all go nuts.
Batum looks like he works at Denny's and then he finishes his shift and then he shows up to play basketball.
Batum.
You know what? I gotta get off early today. Well, how come? I gotta play.
I got a game. Well, I don't know if he's a free agent, but I feel like he would run it back in Clippers.
Who, Batum?
Yeah. Or he might get big money from a dumb team.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I would not be surprised if he's a UFA, get big money.
Yeah, Chicago will sign him for big cash.
Chicago.
Yeah, Knicks sign him for big cash.
I don't know if the Knicks will. They might. But Chicago, I can see him going to Chicago on a massive deal. Okay, so Bucks Suns. Straight up prediction.
Okay, so basically I put down two numbers. With Giannis, I've got the Suns in 7. Without Giannis, I've got the Suns in 5.
Okay. Either way, it will not be a 5-game series.
Yeah, I really think this will be an opportunity for Booker to shine. There's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Listen, I think CP3...
Booker has lots of pressure?
Yeah, I think CP3 is going to be good, not great. Maybe he'll have a couple quarters like he did the second half of the clinching game. But in order for the Suns to win, my predictions are based on Booker playing like a star.
Okay, what pressure's on Booker, though? He doesn't have any pressure.
Oh, I think there's going to be pressure on him. Yeah.
No, I think the pressure's on CP. This might be his last time here.
Yeah, for sure there's pressure on CP, but I have confidence that he'll be pretty consistent. If Booker is 4 for 17...
He's been
in the first
inefficient,
game,
too.
I know he's been inefficient. That'll put a lot of pressure in. But I have confidence that Booker's he's going to play well.
So if Giannis... the thing with Giannis is he might active and play maybe all the games. But I think he's far from 100%. I think he's the type of guy that's I'm playing. But if he's far from 100%, then he's just going to be out there and he's not going to be the same guy.
Trae Young probably hurt more than he helped last night.
I wouldn't say that.
Close.
He had a lot of dimes. He was still playmaking. Yeah. But no,
I guess it depends on who they substitute for him.
Yeah.
Right? So Giannis is out and Middleton and Holiday step up. Lopez steps up.
Portis.
Right? They run a lot of stuff to him. Portis and Connaughton, right?
Connaughton. Sure.
Connaughton. Yeah.
Connaughton or Teague, Forbes or PJ Tucker if he can hit a jump shot.
One of the reasons why I have the Bucks losing is Suns are going to lay off Tucker, right? Because he was 2 for 10, maybe 2 for 11 last night.
And all wide open.
Wide open. It's like one of the Ball brothers. What's the crappy one, the older one?
LiAngelo?
No.
He's the crappy one. Lonzo is the
older one who can't shoot.
He can shoot now.
Can he?
He shot 40% from deep this year.
Okay, either way. It's a different game. Steph Curry shoots 40% from 3, triple team.
Yeah, okay.
Tucker gets to shoulder shimmy if he wanted to and hit shots.
Tucker's not about that, though.
No, he's
just
not.
Putting that out there.
Actually, we both like Tucker.
Yeah.
He hustles, he gets good boards, he plays tough D. So does Holiday. Man.
I was on Drew Holiday bandwagon before it was a thing.
Oh, yeah. You were, last year you were talking about him. But you were able to spotlight his awesome defense, and he's as good a defender as Pat Bev, maybe better.
He's better defender than Pat Bev.
Yeah, because he's bigger and he's stronger.
Because he can guard 4s. He can guard 4s.
And he's not afraid to guard 5s. He's a little like Jimmy.
No, Drew Holiday and Jimmy, very similar. For real, very, very similar players, especially defensively. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to throw out... So if Giannis is there... Actually, I'm going to say it's a 7-game series.
Regardless?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 6. If Giannis misses most of the games or sucks when he plays and he's super injured, then it will probably be Suns in 6. But it will not be a 5-game series. I don't see that. If it comes down to coaching, then the Suns will win. Right? If it has to be a late-game coaching duel.
Did you see the clip at the end of the Suns when they were beating the Clips and CP was kind of losing it and Monty Williams was his coach? And
Monty Williams is awesome.
Yeah, but it was a great clip.
Yeah,
it shows the love that those dudes have, and it's cool.
I'm going to go, let's say Giannis plays the majority of the games.
Okay.
I'll say Bucks in 7.
Bucks in 7. Okay.
I'll go Bucks in 7. Now, the issue with that is, let's say Giannis is good. Do you know who the Suns have? Who's the Giannis stopper? Jay Crowder.
Oh, yeah.
Jake Crowder guarded Giannis last year in the playoffs when Giannis was bad. Crowder took him out of the game.
True.
It was a lot of team defense. It was a lot of Jimmy.
And obviously you switch off Ayton. I'm assuming Ayton's not going to be able to. Ayton will not let Brook Lopez eat him for lunch.
I agree. It'll be fun to watch those two dudes.
It will be fun to watch because they both try hard.
So I think Bucks in 7 if Giannis plays the majority of the games, but if not, if he misses games, I'll go Suns in 6. Because I don't think it'll be 5-game series. I just think the Bucks have too much talent.
Knowing what you know right now, you're picking the Bucks. Mm-hmm. Knowing what I know right now, I'm picking the Suns. We'll see. We'll talk about it.
I'm happy either way.
Yeah, next time we record, it'll be halfway through the series, but it'll be good.
Are we both happy either way? Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Actually, you posted something about people's finals or something along those lines. These are no super teams. These are no big markets.
Nope.
I don't give a crap if the NBA's ratings are a little low. I love the fact that Milwaukee, which is in Wisconsin, which is not a big city, Phoenix, which is mostly made up of old people, also not a big city. Although Phoenix, Tacoma, that's not.
I haven't been to Phoenix for a few years, so I can't speak on
it. It's a growing market, but still, it's not New York, it's not LA, it's not Boston,
not Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
No,
New York is Brooklyn.
Yeah, but now you got 2 good basketball teams in that state, so you have to differentiate. One really good one and one
good one and one team.
One in regular season
who thinks they're really good.
I'm happy either way, right? Let's say the Suns.
Either way.
Let's say the Suns win. Good for Chris Paul. They're well coached. They're not a super team. This might be Chris Paul's last chance.
Even though he has his faults, and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with Giannis, the flawed superstar. He's a super good dude. It's a great story. Awesome. It'd be fun. His brother needs to play more.
His brother comes in 2 minutes, 3 fouls. That's just what he does.
His brother is Udonis Haslam.
UD, yeah. Energy, some maybe a board or 2.
Yeah, he'll take a charge. If he won't take a charge, then he's certainly going to lay down the law.
So let's say the Bucks win. I love Giannis. Actually, honestly, I love basically their whole team. If you go through their guys, they're all really likable. Except Bryn Forbes, who's a role player, bench guy. But everyone else, Giannis, sweet. Holiday, Middleton, Lopez, Portis, Tucker, they're all great.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that Tucker can't shoot at all. I don't like the fact that Middleton goes through stretches where he's way too quiet. Because Middleton, when he is on and he's interested,
Kobe
is amazing.
Plays like Kobe.
He was so good in the third quarter last night.
Third quarter, he just turned into Kobe. He does that sometimes.
So I'm just going to talk about the take that people are talking about, but I don't agree with it. This is another one of these flawed championships, right? Okay. Easy path to the finals, injuries, and there's other past champions that have had not great teams or easy paths to the finals. 2005 Rockets with Hakeem the Dream and
95 Rockets, not 2005 Rockets. Really? 2005 Rockets with Hakeem the Dream?
Yeah.
Hakeem Olajuwon in 05 was still kicking around on the Rockets?
No, I think it was 95.
95 was without Mike.
Okay, there you go. Yes. That was not a very good team. I mean, Olajuwon was crazy, but all the guards were not very good. The 1978 Washington Bullets, this is going back in the history books. 2011 Dallas Mavericks had a superstar and then a bunch of
guys.
Dudes.
Yeah.
But guess what? Yeah, these guys are on a list somewhere. It doesn't matter. You win the championship, 20 years from now, people can just remember you win the championship.
Yeah, right? So people are saying, Suns got lucky. The Suns got extremely lucky. If you look at, Clay, no Clay, takes the Warriors out. LeBron, AD, injuries, all that nonsense, takes them out.
Yeah, listen, LeBron
Clippers.
and AD are healthy. Lakers win that series.
I agree. Clippers, no Kawhi.
Kawhi's healthy. They win that series.
Nuggets, no Murray. Yeah. I think if Murray plays,
if Murray plays, they come out of the West. Depends, obviously, the whole Laker healthy thing.
So you can go through and say, the Suns got lucky. I agree, 100%. But they're there, and out of all the teams and of all the circumstances, they deserve to be there. So I don't think you discredit it, and people trying to blame the Suns.
Well, listen, my take is that it doesn't matter. People can check. And these big New York, Brooklyn, LA, they're going to whine about that Golden State. Although Golden State doesn't seem to be so whiny. I don't really know why that is. Maybe because they're just good dudes. And,
Golden State rocks.
yeah. Either way, this would be great for basketball. I love when small market teams win.
This is, if we went into the playoffs and you said, hey, Bucks Suns finals, sweet. Like, I'm all in. I love it. Would have been nice to see Embiid come out of the East, I think. Mm-hmm. But I also would not have wanted to watch Simmons suck in the finals. That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with the Bucks.
Giannis is going to have to figure out his free throws.
Who, Giannis is?
Yeah.
He is such a hard worker. In the offseason, I bet he comes back next year, shoots like 75.
No, he needs to figure out his free throws now.
He won't be great, but he'll be better. Hopefully Phoenix doesn't take it too hard on him. Right? The whole counting down thing, which I think is... I love Giannis. That's super entertaining.
Yeah.
How they count down. Next year, just talk about Giannis, he's going to come back, shoot 75% from the free throw line.
I think he will. Yep.
And Simmons? Not sure.
There's rumors floating around about Simmons, about his group that really protect him. He doesn't work hard.
Soft.
That you need to have people in your group that push the hell out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, that's the deal. If you have all yes men or yes women, you're likely not going to improve. Like, speaking of Walter Payton, like, his off-season workouts were legendary. He had this hill that he just ran up and down, and people would join him, and then they'd just throw up and say, okay, I'm done.
Simmons is soft. His camp is soft. Philly has not done great with him, but the new guys running the Sixers don't want Simmons there, right? They didn't choose Simmons, so I think they try to move him. I think it's funny that the Sixers could have got Simmons for Harden, not quite straight up, but pretty close, and they said no. That has not aged well for Philly.
No, it has not.
Like, if they had Harden...
Like, we don't like Harden, but he's good, right? And he would be spectacular.
He would bring what Dame would bring to them, essentially, right? Like 30 points a game, easily.
Yeah, dimes. He gets dimes.
Not a whole lot of defense for either of those guys, though. That's the issue.
No.
Like, if Dame goes to Philly, you got to keep Thibault.
Would have been interested to see how Brooklyn would have done defensively, because Brooklyn played tough D with who they had left.
Yes, that's correct.
Right? But, Harden doesn't really play D, and then he was dinged up, so he had an excuse.
Yeah. Well, when you don't have a center, it's really hard to play team defense.
Yeah.
And Blake Griffin, although he stepped up great and now he's awesome, he's not a center. He's still a 4.
No.
He's just slightly slower.
He's a 6'10" dude who's strong, but he's got limited mobility.
And it just is not big enough to guard an Embiid or an Ayton or, I don't know, Brook Lopez. Like, even Lopez. Like, I bet Lopez did give
Give
Griffin
now,
buckets.
The one thing, and I hate even mentioning it, CP3's had lots of injury histories in the playoffs.
Dude.
I have to put it out there, right? Because age is relevant in this. So I hope he stays healthy. Does Phoenix have any other old dude who plays?
Crowder's a vet.
Crowder's a vet, but he is the Predator, so I think he'll probably be okay.
Payne's a vet. Saric is a vet, but they don't have any old dudes. They don't have any Iguodalas or...
So Milwaukee, Lopez is not young. He seems to be one of those guys who's just like a robot, doesn't get beat up.
Drew's been around. Tucker's been around.
Tucker's kind of old, but tough.
Tucker's, I think it's... Like, I don't know if the Bucks are his last stop, because he's valuable to any team.
For sure he is.
Even if you can't shoot. He's just going to harass your best offensive player.
Yeah, like he maybe isn't valuable 34 minutes a game, but 24 minutes a game, like your backup 4 or whatever. Awesome.
Okay, so final prediction, regardless of semantics and Giannis yes, Giannis no, X team and how many games? What do you got?
So I'm going to average it out and go Suns in 6.
Bucks in 7.
Okay.
Bucks in 7. But it's a toss-up series.
Yep,
it really is. But I'm rolling with the Bucks.
Okay. Perfect. I need to give a shout out to Colin Liardi. I had a tennis match with him today. Oh my God, we just both killed each other. 2.5 hours. I gave Isaac. So I'm in this Greater Amherstburg Tennis League that Bill Seagrass, who's the man, runs.
Thanks, Bill.
So you play a bunch of dudes whenever you can. So we played at 9 o'clock in the morning. I had 3 bottles of water and a Gatorade, and I did not have nearly enough. I just about killed myself. So credit to Colin for a great match. It was tough. I came home, ate, took a nap.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll hear about tennis for the next little bit. that match. We'll hear about it for the next little bit.
It was a great match.
It was?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know.
Yeah. It was a good match. Okay, 4 people for dinner. We had
Explain this topic. This
Okay,
is so dumb.
like Dana Pickford, like a couple days ago, said, I love listening to your podcast. And it seems as though there's a fair amount of people who like the non-sport stuff. And although we don't allocate a ton of time to non-sport stuff, I think it's important that we throw in a non-sports topic every episode or every other episode.
Okay.
We had talked about, or I had thrown out, okay, you're on a desert island, you've got one book and you got one movie. Isaac was good enough to say, nobody cares about that, Dad.
If someone's listening...
You're going to say Die Hard, and I'm going to say Godfather, and that'll be it, and that's it. We're done. Okay. But the 4 people for dinner one is a good one.
So no one knows what 4 people for dinner means.
I am going to tell the people.
Also, no one cares.
I think a couple of people do care. Please, hey, on Instagram, Team Tal Nation, say, Tal, great topic. You should have invited this person. Or Isaac's 4 people that he invited for dinner are losers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably going to invite like James Harden and Kyrie Irving to talk about flat Earth.
You're right. That's actually, that was my plan.
Okay, so you get to invite 1 current athlete, 1 former athlete, and then 2 other people. None of them can be family. You sit around, you have pizza, and you talk about life. I'm going to drink some wine and chat with them. Just be interesting to see. And then it's an old debate.
They have to be real.
Some of my buddies... Yeah, you can't invite Thanos for dinner. That was probably on your list as well. No, like Captain America would be awesome. Superman would be awesome. You can't invite those dudes.
Rocky.
Yeah, although Slice to the Moon is Rocky.
I'll get there.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Okay, so
4 people for dinner. I'm just going to go right away.
Do your one current athlete, and then I'll do mine.
Yeah, so the current athlete, I went back and forth on this one a little bit. I picked Shohei.
Man, okay, he was in my final 3.
Because, like, the dude is a transcendent athlete, and, obviously you have to invite his interpreter. That doesn't count as
I agree.
4. He's one of the best hitters on the planet. He's one of the best pitchers on the planet. And he seems to be an interesting dude.
He's a great dude.
I've heard some of the translated interviews, and I think it'd be fun to talk about that, right? I don't know a great deal about Japan. We can talk about growing up Japan.
Yeah.
What happens is most of these MLB guys, like if you pick virtually anybody, I'm sure Derek Jeter was an amazing pitcher when he was 14 or 15 years old, right? Most of these guys, high school, they're like, okay, my starting pitcher, and then when you're not starting pitcher, you play shortstop, you bat second or third, you steal bases, you've got power. But Shohei just kept doing it. So he's my current athlete to come for dinner.
So people that don't know Shohei, look up Shohei Ohtani. You'll figure out spelling. His name will be up there.
Angels.
He's an Angels baseball
player.
guy who is just awesome. He pitches and he hits, and he has the most home runs in baseball right now.
Yeah, I think so.
So he's awesome. Shohei, good one. So I'm just going to say straight up, my guy's Jimmy Butler. I'm bringing Jimmy.
Oh, that would make sense.
I'm bringing Jimmy, but I went back and forth. There's really 2 names. It was Jimmy Butler and Tom Brady.
Okay.
And Tom,
I thought about Tom Brady.
Like, if we can do this in a couple years, Tom will be my past guy. So it's Jimmy and Tom. I settled for Jimmy just because I think he would be the coolest dude around.
Yeah.
And then I got Shohei written down, and I wrote down Cade Cunningham because we got to get to know each other. Me and Cade.
Yeah, Ben Wallace's people, for some reason, haven't contacted us about going on the show, so I'm sure that'll happen eventually, but they're a little slow.
Wi-Fi.
July 4th weekend, there's a lot of stuff going on.
So I'm going Jimmy because I think he's the coolest dude around, and he's awesome, and I love Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy's a good call. So past athlete, I wrote down a couple names. Charles Barkley would be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Wayne Gretzky would be cool. Actually, I went with Bill Russell. Did you pick Bill Russell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just, the old days of playing in Boston. Obviously, the whole racist factor there. But going against Wilt Chamberlain, I'd love to hear that stuff. He was the player coach. Like, look up some of Russell's stats. I mean, obviously, Chamberlain had some crazy, crazy stats. But Russell, he'd get 24 points and 32 boards in a game.
And he's also
crazy stuff.
Considered one of the best defenders ever. So I got on Bill Russell, too. It was between, honestly, I have 4 names. Oh, this is so hard. But I got Bill Russell. I wrote down Jackie Robinson.
Yep.
Same reason as why Russell. I wrote down Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan. Now, I kind of wanted to have one of Michael or Tom, but it just didn't work out that way. But Bill Russell can tell me about racism in Boston and winning and coaching and playing and all this and funny Wilt stories and whatever. So I'm cool with Bill Russell. I got Bill as well. But a lot of guys for past athlete. Bo Jackson would be cool.
Yeah, Bo Jackson would be awesome. Okay, Bill Russell. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So now we've got 2 other folks. I'm sure we're all over the board here. I'm just going to throw 3 or 4 honorable mention. Abraham Lincoln would be pretty cool.
Sure.
Gandhi would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Woke.
Golda Meir. Do you know who Golda Meir is? First Prime Minister of Israel. Right, 1948, they were a country. Oh, hey, one day later there's a war, so she would be cool. So my first one that I wrote down, Albert Einstein.
So lame.
Super duper smart. Period of time in history, World War II. Like one of the coolest, smartest dudes in history.
He was cool?
He was cool. He did some cool stuff. Look him up.
I've never heard of him, so. Okay, my first name, you want to talk about the epitome of coolness? Sylvester Stallone. He's who I'm bringing. Look, you can get all your lame philosopher dudes.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone is so awesome. First of all, he's really smart. For real. Like, his IQ is really high. He's a really smart dude.
I think his brain's a little relaxed.
No, Stallone is actually smart. So
I know he's smart.
Okay? Yeah. And then, like, if I couldn't get Rocky, Stallone, Rocky, same dude. And I get Rambo. So that's kind of how I looked at Stallone.
2 pretty good characters that you can talk about the making of those.
Yeah, like...
So, Sly Stallone, what was his role in the first... In First Blood?
He's Rambo.
Yeah. No, but, like, how much did he write? Was he involved in writing?
First Blood's based off of a book. So, the book was adapted, and they didn't want Stallone. They were trying to get all these other guys, and it kind of fell to Stallone, and like, yeah, we can try out the guy from Rocky. But at that point, that was, 1982? So he had done 2 Rocky movies. And
not much else.
2 Rocky movies, and that's basically it.
Yeah, really. I mean, Rocky won Best Picture. I don't think he won Best Actor, or did he?
He was nominated. I don't think he won.
Okay.
And then Rocky 2 was 79. Or 70, no. Was it 79? Yeah, I think it was. But, like, Stallone, I get so much with Stallone. He would be one of the guys to bring to dinner.
Yeah. The end of Rock. When was the relaxed brain? Was that Rocky 3 or was that Rocky 2?
2.
So there's a clip where Rocky's having to read stuff, and he's, the Rocky Balboa character probably didn't have much education, got hit in the head a lot of times. Mm-hmm. So sometimes when Isaac are out in like a retail environment, I'll talk slow to him and I'll just say to the person, he's got a bit of a relaxed brain. And it's really funny to see people's reactions to it. Shout out to Andrew McLeod. Andrew McLeod and I did a classic one a bunch of years ago that is too politically incorrect to talk about. Mm-hmm. So I think Sly Stallone would be a good pick.
Yeah, relaxed brain. So basically they say Rocky has a relaxed brain, so we're in the public. And like, just the cashier, he has a relaxed brain. Like, he'll just say that. And then I just have to... Yeah, like, I don't know what else to say.
He plays it off well.
So yeah, it's a relaxed brain.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got one more person to invite for dinner.
Yeah.
Chris Farley. He'd be funny.
It's a good one.
As hell.
That's a good one.
Right, I needed to mix it up a little bit. And like, I just think he was one of those guys who was so funny all the time. That's
a good one. Like, I never thought like, hey, I should get a funny guy.
Yep, I just needed to round it out. Like, Robin Williams would have been cool.
Oh man, he'd be up there for me.
Yeah.
Jimmy is going to bring, I think, most of my humor. Jimmy and Stallone, I think they would be pretty funny. Bill Russell, probably pretty serious.
I think so.
So I'll throw down say my names.
Okay.
I was close to Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
I was close to Spartacus, real life Spartacus.
Whew.
Because that would be cool. But I landed on Bruce Lee.
Oh, that's a great one.
And I think Bruce Lee would be such a like he would just bring everything.
Yeah.
Humor, energy.
He was a funny
stories. Dude. Like, he could get everything for me.
Yeah.
So I think Bruce Lee would be sweet. Like, Bruce Lee and Stallone. Yeah. We could maybe do a fight, but depending on when I got them. I could get Stallone and Bruce Lee to throw down.
Yeah, you know that the Karate Dude is always going to win.
Yeah, I know. Okay. But Stallone's got a puncher's chance. He's just going to want to go the distance.
Okay, that's from Rocky 6. But anytime that a Karate Dude has tried to fight a boxer, it always ends bad. Have you not seen any of the Ip Man
I have
shows?
seen the Ip Man. You guys should watch Ip Man.
You guys should watch Ip Man. That's
IP
awesome. IP Space Man. It's all on Netflix. He's a dude.
He's a dude.
Yeah, he needs more.
Oh, Ip
credit.
Man.
Oh no, but there was a real Ip Man.
Exactly.
The real Ip Man trained Bruce Lee.
So I'm gonna go Bruce Lee, and he's gonna deliver Ip Man stories for me.
Okay, yeah, that counts.
So I kind of get a little bit of Ip Man with Bruce Lee.
So I've got Shohei, Russell, Einstein, Chris Farley. Who have you got?
Jimmy Buckets, Bill Russell, Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Lee.
Okay, I really can't make fun of your list. I think those are two pretty solid
Team
lists.
Isaac Nation, stand up. Team Isaac Nation doesn't exist. Like, that's not a thing. That's not a hashtag.
It's not my fault. Okay, anything else?
Nope.
Okay, so our schedule is just a little bit off, so I'm not exactly sure when this will record, so we'll probably record again about halfway through the finals.
Yeah, something like that probably.
Okay, perfect.
Some Keith Cunningham talk. It's coming to you guys soon.
Yeah.
Trade Pistons. Yeah.
Trade for Cade, right? Like that's
Trade for Cade?
Well, all the other teams are sitting around thinking they're going to trade for Cade.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Right. Oh, but I'd like to hear the rumors.
The trade
right?
Cade game is what we will play. Probably maybe next episode we will.
Yeah. We still have some merch, so buy some merch. Just reach out to Isaac on Insta.
Or you.
I guess you could reach out to me too.
Yeah, Team Tal Nation.
Yeah, Team Tal Nation. Yeah, you know what? Buy some stuff.
Okay.
Okay. See you, everybody.
Guys.